The former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, senior advocate of Nigeria, has been slammed with money laundering charges. He is facing 16 counts under the Money Laundering Prohibition Act of 2011 as amended. The EFCC files a case against him, his son Abdulaziz, and Hajia Bashir Asabe, an employee of Rahamaniyya Properties. In the first of the three charges, Malami is accused of laundering about 9 billion naira to acquire houses in Abuja, Kebbi, Kano, and other locations. He must also explain how he came to own 30 properties worth 212.8 billion naira, most of them acquired during his 8 years in office. To give us a deeper understanding or perspective of this, I'm being joined by Michael Amosun. He is a legal practitioner. Thank you for joining us, Michael.
Thank you very much, Neil. Thanks for having me here.
There are many who would say this. I mean, the Attorney General of the Federation, former Attorney General of the Federation, and Minister for Justice is now facing the law. How is that so?
Well, it's not supposed to, in my own opinion, make any special headline because it's not just in Nigeria that we're having this. And then even in Nigeria, if we look into that area, a former Minister of Justice has been also arraigned like this before. So I think that what is most important is if they've spent 8 years building the institution itself, they shouldn't be scared to face the courts. I
like the phrase you use, if they spent 8 years building the institutions, they shouldn't be scared. Now, one would think that because they know there's a likelihood they'll be asked the questions when they leave office, they would be they'll be averse to this kind of situations that might lead anybody to begin to question. So is it so amazing, or is it a wonder that a man who has been, he's been a lawyer, he's made quite some money as a lawyer, and he's 8 years in office as a Minister of Justice, and owns property worth 212.8 billion naira.
There are still allegations until proven otherwise.
All of them allegations.
They are all allegations.
But how does one leave above giving room for those kind of allegations?
Well, because, and it's just a thing where human beings are, lawyers regardless. It's a thing where you're in office, particularly in our climate, Nigeria, you leave office and then you can be found with many, because we live in a country where there are a lot of loopholes, a lot of loose ends. So it's not unusual for us to find that a minister of the Federal Republic, hardly, I can say that, hardly would you find a minister, a governor, leave office without a probe, 1 or 2 probes there, here and there. So it's, for now, where we are in Nigeria, and I don't think it's not a serious headline. It's been here before.
The other side of it is the EFCC.
Right.
Some will say that their back is louder than their bite.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Well, for what is going on with the EFCC, it's EFCC in recent time, or maybe all the while, I feel like EFCC, like many people hold many opinions that maybe they are political. Some say they have come out and say they are political, but when we start piecing 2 + 2 together and it's looking like it, they also have a way to come and defend themselves publicly. But I also know that the court granted bail for ministers, and it was not honored. And I think that the spokesperson said that he served a letter to the office today, and they rejected receipts of the letter. I don't think that's a good thing for an institution like EFCC. But I'm not so surprised, because even we among Nigerian people, in practice, we find that when we serve letters to people, even private persons, they reject service.
Why is that so? Is it that the courts have lost the halo that used to be around the court? I mean, if you get a document from the courts, usually you collect it with some level of trembling. But it looks as if that halo is gone around the court.
So I think the reason will be your latter reason, the fact that you said that if you collect court documents, there's a trepidation that comes along with it. So people feel like when they get court letters, or let me say even lawyers' letter, they are automatically on their defensive side already.
No, the question is, should there be a trepidation? Because the courts are just supposed to help clarify things. It is when the clarification is done and you're on the wrong side, then you get a judgment against you. But so one is not supposed to be afraid of the courts, should they?
That's how you're learning. That's why you're sitting down here. People don't know that on the street. And because, of course, that's not even a reason for people for an institution like EFCC to reject such type of letter, but it is what it is. That's where we live. People feel like they could just, evade or avoid responsibility or accountability by just, rejecting whatever you bring to them.
So
right.
Let me look at it from this side. So I used to be your boss.
All right.
I used to supervise the work you do. And now when I leave office, you're now questioning how I served within that period. Of course, you'll have an idea of how I served. And then the courts are now saying, you should allow me to walk around. And so wouldn't you be afraid that I might go and stop your investigation or interfere in your investigation?
I don't get that. Can you rephrase it? I want to get a sense of it.
The former Attorney General of the Federation used to oversee the EFCC.
Oh, yes.
Now the courts have granted him bail.
Yes.
Do you think the EFCC is concerned that he might go around and stop the processes of their investigation or hinder them from gathering the extra evidence they need to convict him?
In the first place, every prosecutorial authority should gather their evidence before they put people under incarceration, as it were. So in the first place, I believe that EFCC doing their job, acting on their mandate, should have gathered at least substantial level of evidence. It speaks to the level of institution we have. If, for example, till now, a bail is the only reason why EFCC is trying to say it will stop, them gathering evidence. I think it's a serious source of concern. If the reason, for example, if that's not the reason, it's just very dishonoring to see that such institution of government meant to carry out order of the court, meant to uphold the law, is the one, have abstractly, clearly rejecting the orders of the court. It's not a thing that should be happening.
Great things happening in Nigeria. Thank you so much, Michael Amosun, for coming in today. Michael Amosun is a legal practitioner, and he's been discussing this matter of the EFCC against, or as I say, the federal government against the former Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami. Thank you for coming in once again.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Merry Christmas.
Thank you too.